Hey everyone. Okay, so following up from Brava's return last week, we naturally see the return of the gentle criminal himself, or I guess it would be more appropriate to call him the gentle hero. Which honestly, just focusing in on gentle for a moment, his return to the story just made the chapter itself feel like a feel good tale of triumph. And now, and how even if it's just for a fleeting moment in this time, in this place, Gentle has got what he always wanted, what he's always believed. He's allowed to show the world his worth, that he can be a hero people can depend on. And regardless of whatever happens to him afterwards, he was not gonna waste this singular chance that he'd been given to him to show he's just as much of a hero as the boy who helped to show him a different path. And again, just seeing that moment, the one where he's free from prison and tries to reason with the other inmates but fails and willingly chooses to turn himself in after the fact. It's one of those moments that shows, despite the fact that Gentle was branded and prosecuted as a criminal, he ultimately was someone who genuinely has the heart and desires of a hero. He just needed that one moment where he could truly prove who he was. And again, in some ways, you could say that moment of him trying to appeal to the criminals is his own starting line, as it shows who he truly is. I think even from Tsukauchi even says as much, but we'll get to him in a bit. And it's just a really nice moment for Gentle, showing he was never truly a villain. He was just someone who needed his chance. Also, on the flip side of that, I love how La Brava was just having a grand old time, sadistically fucking around with Skeptic's whole network. I'm not even gonna lie, I enjoyed every fucking minute of it. Just seeing the guy have an absolute mental breakdown of being unable to stop her. Stop her and just stop her viruses and all that. It was like seeing everything crash before me. It was absolutely glorious and showed La Brava is definitely someone you want on your side, not against you. Like La Brava, she's don't get wrong. La Brava is cute, but she's also a cute little bundle of chaos if you're not careful. With that being said, let's talk about Tsukauchi, and because I think he deserves special mention with this chapter, because I like how, one thing I really like about Tsukauchi in this chapter is how his monologue is just reflecting on his life, and almost kind of an admission of guilt and lamentation for himself of how many people he's put behind bars, and just him truly questioning that for as many as people as he has put behind bars who are truly evil and deserve the max punishment for their willingness to harm others, it's also him asking the question, how many more were just misunderstood souls just trying to find their place in the world, only becoming villains by happenstance, and could change if just given another chance, given that one chance that they never got to truly be a hero in a world that almost kind of restricted their ability to do so. I do like how we do see him coming to terms with that reality in this moment, and where he finds himself relying on unexpected allies he never thought he would put his faith or trust into. I think for me, it's just seeing this is a really humbling moment for his character, and you can tell it's definitely a lesson he's gonna carry with him for the remainder of his days on Earth. And although Tsukauchi, again, has never been although Tsukauchi has been the furthest thing from my favorite character, it has been interesting to see him just kind of grapple and just have this reckoning and self-reflection that does make him at least feel more rounded and grounded. Him in grappling with the weight of his power as an officer of the peace, and just understand what having that power means. You could definitely say it took him long enough to understand what having that power means, but it's just a nice little reckoning moment for him that shows he definitely is changing. He's trying to understand truly what the difference is between the true villains and those that are just misunderstood and need guidance and help, kind of thing. So it's just a nice little moment for him. Now, One thing I do want to talk about, oddly enough, is the title of the chapter, the story of how we all became heroes. Because again, this is this is definitely a chapter that definitely where it's starting where that title is starting to really come into play with this being part 4 of that. And honestly, between Gentle's return as well as Nagant's return at the end of the chapter, I do wonder how inspired Horikoshi was by Avengers Endgame for this part of the arc, because while there isn't anything wholly unique with this setup of everyone getting beaten to the point of utter defeat until every other hero gathers around them as reinforcements in the last minute, just the way this is coming together does feel very reminiscent of Endgame, at least in tone. Now, the other side of that coin is that the pacing is really weird with this chapter, in the sense where with so many people gathering in one location right now in order to go up against Shigaraki in One for All, or an All for One, and especially what Gentle pulls off by Christian the full UA, it all just feels like it's in services of setting the stage for the final battle, obviously, but that just begs the question of how much longer the story is going to go for, and how many chapters are left, because aside from tying up loose ends, the fight with Shigaraki and All for One is literally already in play, and it's happening right now. It's literally practically all that's left. And again, with everyone gathering together now, it feels like we've kind of officially entered the final stretch of the series. So for me, it's just a question of how long do we really have left? Because again, this feels like we're kind of in the final stretch, the final moments of the series. But I couldn't say with certainty if that's actually true or not. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I got for this review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, Analyst Crunchyroll. Be sure to hit the notification bell, hit the subscribe button, and just share the video around, guys. Dark Knight Renee signing off. Later, everyone.